Thank you. Section 513 is the plastic fee, and it's very similar in dividend model that the carbon fee uses. So plastic is a big pollution problem in the world, and especially in the United States. We go through an awful lot of plastic, waste, about 5 times as much per capita as Europe does. And plastic just kind of hangs around forever. It just breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces. And it was recently reported that we're starting to find microplastics in people's blood now. We have so polluted the environment. We've so polluted our children's inheritance, and we need to do something. So while there are other countries have done things like banning single-use plastic, this legislation takes a different view of discouraging those things through new taxes and fees on plastic. So let me share my screen again. And Section 513 is the plastic fee, and it adds a new chapter to subtitle L. Our definitions are pretty. Section 9921 is the definitions. Plastic products are any good intended for public sale which contains plastic, including its packaging. This is the plastic products are the part that are subject to the 5-cent per product fee. Public sale is defined as the final purchase of a plastic product, whether at retail or by a business entity for distribution in lieu of sale. So, for example, if McDonald's is buying, a box of 1,000 forks to distribute to their customers, then they would be the party responsible for the plastic product fee. Manufacturers, any sort of, are the business entities who produce plastic products. And virgin plastic resin means resin produced directly from petrochemical feedstock for the purposes of manufacturing plastic products, but does not include recycled resin. Again, so we'll be creating a financial incentive to recycle more and create less plastic. Section 9922 is the plastic production fee. And so it starts at 20% sales tax, essentially, on sale of virgin plastic resin. And that would increase by 3% per year. In the case of vertically integrated industries that produce their own plastic resin and then manufacture it into finished products for sale, then it's a matter of calculation by weight and a market price for the month that the Bureau of Labor Statistics would help determine. Otherwise, it's just the tax should be applied at the point of sale or point of import. Section 9923 is the plastic consumption fee, and this is for the plastic products of 5 cents per product, or for multi-packs containing plastic products, 5 cents for each individual plastic product. So again, McDonald's buys a box of 1,000 plastic forks, and so then they would pay 5 cents for each individual plastic product. And so we're not banning single-use plastic. Plastic has many good uses. It also has very high costs, especially when we produce it and throw it away frivolously. So this is about encouraging more mindful consumption. There's an exception for plastic products sold in bulk quantities, like plastic packing peanuts, things like that, where the secretary can establish a price per weight and call it a unit, instead of making people count each individual plastic peanut. And then 9924 is the administrative authority. What the secretary is supposed to do, again, identify effective points in the production manufacturing process for collecting these fees, do it in a way that minimizes administrative burdens, and just like we saw with the carbon tax, require monthly payments of fees, and rules for distinguishing between different types of plastic. Once again, no preemption of state law. This is a floor, not a ceiling, and it sets an effective date of September 30th, 2023. And with that, Next Chair, I think that concludes my testimony on Section 513.
Thank you. Yeah. So you'd mentioned that that we were distinguishing among different types of plastic. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
About the different types of plastic?
And what the actual differences are and how we are we measuring them differently? Are we taxing them differently? Are we approaching them in different ways?
I'm not sure I have a great answer for you. So many things can be produced from plastic. And so it is more, I guess I would say it's more enabling language that the administrator may, if it's necessary, convenient, have rules that would distinguish between different types of plastic.
Oh, it's giving them the ability to distinguish if needed.
Yes.
Okay. Got you. Okay, but I do have another question. As you mentioned, we're finding microplastics in people's bloods, where it's actually now the pieces are getting so small they're starting to break through the blood-brain barrier. We're finding them now in fetuses before they're even born. And I am thinking about all of the health effects that it is having on people. Are there any provisions on addressing the both short-term or the long-term health effects of microplastics in our environment and our bodies?
No, unfortunately, there's nothing like that in this legislative package. I hope it's something that Congress will look at. As you talked about, like we should be ashamed about the amount of harm that we're causing to our children, just in pursuit of easier, cheaper, faster, more convenient. That as you said, you're finding microplastics in embryos. Like they're not even born yet, and they're already dealing with our pollution. Yeah, I would love to see much harsher restrictions on plastic to really make us rethink the amount of harm that we are causing. There is no sunset in the plastic tax. This would be an ongoing thing. And again, I don't think it is practical or politically possible to pass a ban on plastic at this point. It is so, fortunately, I'd say it's so essential to so much of American life. But by putting a tax on it and making us more mindful of the hidden costs of plastic, we can begin to address it. So that's what this section does.